fantasy, reality, it's all the same, that's where you find me. That's where you find, that's where you find. The start of something so beautiful came far from the mess that we made.
Hello and welcome to France 24's weekly music show with me, Marjorie Hash. I'm delighted to welcome two guests, Gaz Coombes, who was part of he still is part of Oxford band Supergrass, who came to fame in the 90s. He's about to release his fourth studio album, Turn the Car Around. There's also Fernie, a Brazilian-Canadian artist whose beautiful debut album, Aurora, is full of enchanting melodies and vulnerable lyrics. It came out a year ago and has been blowing up over there. They're now bringing it to France and Europe at large. Thank you both very much for being here in the studio, the France 24 studio. Now, Gaz, I'm going to start off with you. I believe you're familiar with France, not only because you've toured it extensively with Supergrass, but also as a solo artist. But I read that you also had a converted barn in northern France that was used as a studio to record some of your albums, like Road to Rouen, for example. Yeah.
I mean, it was a family thing that we had about 20 years ago, around then, I think. My family just decided to, I guess like a lot of people were doing, kind of buying something in northern France and going on holidays and all that sort of stuff. But yeah, we found this really beautiful little barn, and then we'd go there and just kind of meet up with all the extended family and have parties and stuff. And then when it came to doing that record, it was kind of like, right, we need a space to kind of throw loads of gear in and make a record. And that just seemed really kind of obvious, you know. So we kind of went over there, removed all the sofas and any kind of bits of furniture that were in the barn and just replaced it with equipment, and off we went. Yeah, do you still use it regularly? No, we had to. We got rid of it in the end. Actually, yeah, we sold it, and just again, family moving on to different things, and it was sort of a bit of an end of an era. But it was fun while it lasted. We loved it, yeah. Oh, that's nice. Well, Fernie, you just landed in France yesterday, hitting the ground running. What's it like being here? Because I remember listening to your album and thinking, oh, he's talking about having a 9-to-5 job and dreaming about the future. And now this is the future that you kind of dreamt about. How does it feel?
To be honest, I'm still processing the entire experience. It's been super crazy. I still work a 9-to-5 actually, but I'm still shifting away from that. So having France be a thing now and visiting beautiful Paris and everything, it's just really eye-opening, and it really just gives me a lot of hope for what's to come next, and it's just really exciting. What's your 9-to-5 if you want to say? You don't have to. So I work at a hotel, overnight at this hotel off the highway. It's super remote. It's nothing special. But yeah, I mean, I gotta pay the bills somehow, you know.
Yeah, and the extreme of glamour on the road and hotel. That's very cool. Very
gotta
grounded.
Pay for my clothes. Gotta make sure I look great.
Pretty real, you know.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, how about we check out one of your tracks then? It's your prophetic New Beginnings.
Take flight over the cloudless pink skies. It's all about the hustle that we making. West side got me hella thinking. Doobies up, window down and let the breeze in. Hard knock, step aside, just feel the cleansing. Just merely rocking in my vans, keep on sinning, Neverland. Just wanna lose myself again. Flying up to space, feel the weight off my shoulder. I'm flying far away, I'm a bittersweet coma. Psychedelic living, feel the beat as it holds ya.
You really get why Frank Ocean is a kind of go-to comparison. A beautiful track taken from Aurora Fernie's debut album. Now, Fernie, you've done really well with this record back in Montreal, and you've even started collaborating with Patrick Watson, who's Canadian and does in the kind of cabaret pop style with classical touches. How did that collaboration come out?
It was actually one of my booking agents that was just randomly chilling with him one day, and Patrick was like, oh, I'm not really in touch with the music scene at the moment. I really want to see what's going on. So he had sent Patrick a demo of my music, as well as another friend of mine, Magi, who I actually collabed with last month. And he loved it so much, and he was just I need to meet him. I need to just sit down and talk to him. And we did. We had that moment. And then he was just even more interested, because I guess the personality just matched. And yeah, then we started working, and it's really eye-opening, honestly. He's he doesn't like it when I say he's a teacher mentor kind of thing, but he really is, and he's taught me so much, and he's also been really transparent, and to the point where sometimes it's hard to hear the truth, but it's important in order to grow, and that's really who he is. like to me as a person.
That's why you're working on your next record together.
Exactly. So we do have a song together coming out in like the next record next year, and I can't really talk about it much, but yeah, it's out there. I performed with him like a few weeks ago, like the song that we're gonna release, and it had a good response. So I'm really excited to see like the wider response to like the actual song. I'm really excited.
Gaz, as a veteran rocker, what would be your advice for Fernie in terms of like moving on to the next record? Is that always stressful, even someone who's been doing it?
I don't think I need to give you any advice at all. No, I mean, but for me personally, I always kind of like to make sure that there's a reaction against the last record, that there's some kind of reaction, and kind of not repeating myself, I suppose. But that's more my kind of, you know, stubborn restlessness or something. I just can't really, I don't want to do the same thing again. So I kind of want to mix it up and keep it fresh. But yeah, I like to, just be honest, be true, and love what you do.
Interesting point is that, you know, Supergrass, you had them to start off with. That's how you came to fame. Then you took a little break. Then you got back together. Then you released in 2019 a record recently. And then you were on stage for the Taylor Hawkins tribute act. And recently, what was it like meeting the band, and how did you know each other so well?
Well, yes, we've toured with the Foo Fighters quite a bit over the years. I think maybe first the late 90s, we went over to the States when they were still kind of a reasonably sort of modest band in a way. They hadn't sort of taken off into the stadium band that they are today. And so, yeah, I think that's probably 98, 97, 98, 99. And it was we just kind of hit it off straight away, our two bands, and they just took a shine to us, you know, like young English rockers, and so we became good friends over the years, and got to know Taylor Hawkins really well, and he was just an amazing guy, just such a warm, friendly, kind of infectious kind of personality, and we loved him very much. So we were really thrilled to just be part of the day at Wembley.
Moving on to your new record, Turn the Car Around, which is coming out on January 13th. It features
Friday the 13th.
Yeah, very lucky day. It features a lot of interesting characters. You've got Sonny the Strong, who it's a story of a boxer who had to give up his boxing career to take part in World War II. And then you've also got other stories with lovers who keep going despite turmoil around them. Where did you draw inspiration for the key people in your stories?
I suppose I just kind of sort of tap into what's around my environment and personal experiences. I think on this record it's tricky because a lot of the writing took place during the pandemic, so there wasn't kind of like a huge amount of life experiences happening. There wasn't a lot of world traveling and all these sort of things. So it was quite contained in and around my family for 2 years. So I was kind of tapping into other stories, but then me and my wife watching loads of documentaries during those lockdowns and stories about these incredible stories of actors and musicians and when someone has to go at the height of their fame into the army, and it's happened recently even in Ukraine with a couple of very high profile Ukrainian boxers, and I thought that was quite fascinating, the idea of having to put your life on hold to do something different. So really whatever's inspiring me at the time, whatever I see, I kind of try and make notes or just write little lines. I use Post-it notes quite a lot in the studio. So these
that works a lot
kind
for
of like write
storytelling.
And just
well, how about
stick them up everywhere.
How about we take a look at your latest single? It's called Long Live the Strange.
Long live the strange.
Wonderful track on Gaz Coombes' next solo album. Now, it's not the first time you pay tribute to the strange. I mean, already with Supergrass, you did so with strange ones. Should I Coco, or actually I should Coco. Tell us about your fascination.
It's I don't know really. I mean, I suppose it's something that's kind of subliminally always been there. We were always the strange ones, growing up in our little village and kind of feeling like outsiders, and then just kind of always warming to kind of the more unusual people in life, I suppose. And you know, I think that was something that always interested us, and I think it still applies now. And I just feel like I wanted to write a song that was kind of embracing the kind of weird and wonderful, the kind of different and the unique, and just making that a really positive thing. You know, I've got kids now. I've got 2 girls, and I want them to kind of grow up feeling kind of like everybody is everybody is important. You know, and I thought that song turned out great. I love it. I'm really proud of it, you know.
And artists like Fernie, yourself, you bring out this sort of exploring different kinds as well. That's very important. I'm afraid that's all we've got time for.
I just say, I love that jumper.
Thank you.
Tank top.
Tank top.
I need to get one.
This is this is from a local Montreal store.
It's going to be hard for me to find one then.
I mean, I could send you one if you want. Literally.
We'll talk later.
Right, we will talk later.
Yes, because we've been shouted at to finish up, because France 24's News Bulletin is coming up in just a few seconds, which gives us enough time to say you can catch all our culture news on france24.com, and of course on our social media, Encore F24 at Encore F24. We're going to play out with someone fabulous. She's called Mylène Farmer. She's been around. She's an icon, a pop icon here in France, and notably she's just released her 12th studio album, which was produced by the likes of Woodkid, Moby and Archive. Let's check out one of the tracks. It's called the fantastic Tout Jamais, a full-on futuristic Mylène.